It was a 1-2 offensive punch to the gut for Iowa State Monday. Late this morning, David Montgomery, who has led the Cyclones in rushing the past 3 seasons, announced in his statement posted on Twitter that he has decided to forego his remaining collegiate eligibility in order to declare for the April draft. Nearly 10 hours later, teammate and leading receiver Hakeem Butler used the same social media vehicle to deliver the same message. Butler led the Cyclones with 60 receptions and 9 receiving touchdowns while also setting the single-season school record in receiving yards with 1,318. His 101.4 yards per game were 3rd in the Big 12 and 9th nationally. In ISU's Alamo Bowl loss to Washington State that turned out to be the final game of his collegiate career, the 6-6. 219-pound Butler set career highs in catches, 9, and receiving yards, 192. Santa Clara, California. As is typical at the national championship game, the 2 teams involved took the field amid plenty of fireworks and fanfare. It turns out the real fireworks were not until after kickoff though. Number 1 Alabama and No. 2 Clemson each delivered a number of big plays on the biggest stage in the sport as the Tigers held a 31-16 lead after one entertaining half of play at Levi's Stadium in the Bay Area. It was safe to say that Tua Tagovailoa was the early frontrunner for MVP in the contest, for both teams. After his defense forced a 3-and-out to open the game, Clemson corner A.J. Terrell jumped a short pass in the flat and had nobody anywhere close to him as he ran it back 44 yards to delight the orange and purple fans for a pick-6 on the 7th play of the game. The Hawaiian signal caller didn't seem fazed by the mistake though, coming right back on the next series to toss a beautiful 62-yard bomb right into the waiting hands of Jerry Jeudy to even things up just over a minute later. Tagovailoa finished the up-and-down first half with 158 yards and a pair of touchdowns to the Tide, but did throw another interception that Clemson eventually converted into points. And to make matters worse for Alabama, the team missed their 9th punt of the season and had a kickoff go out of bounds. Head coach Nick Saban, perhaps sensing that it was just not his night on that front, went for it on 2 4th downs as a result, one near the goal line and another from his own 34-yard line that shocked many in attendance. Clemson QB Trevor Lawrence started off slow but eventually looked right at home as the game wore on. He tossed a 62-yard bomb to T. Higgins to get the team in the red zone in the first quarter and wound up with an impressive 197 yards and a touchdown pass. While he looked nothing like a freshman under center, it was tailback Travis Etienne who was the real star of the show for the Tigers' offense. The sophomore had a touchdown reception off a shuffle pass and scored twice on the ground with some terrific bursts of speed while recording 24 yards rushing. Can Dabo Swinney's crew dethrone their nemesis once again? They're certainly off to a good start after just a half of play with the way their offense is rolling. We've seen Alabama rally from big deficits more than once, including on this stage just 1 year ago. Either way, we're bound to get a thrilling conclusion as these 2 heavyweights trade blow after blow in this title fight that is living up to the early billing. Alabama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has been intercepted twice in the first half of the college football playoff national championship game, and Clemson took advantage of his second turnover. Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence completed 4 of 5 pass attempts on the drive after Tagovailoa was picked off by Trayvon Mullen, and Travis Etienne took care of some business on the ground with a few runs. On the final play of the quick 47-yard touchdown drive, Lawrence completed a shovel pass to Etienne up the middle for a touchdown, giving Clemson a 28-16 lead on the Crimson Tide with 4:38 remaining in the second quarter. Earlier in the half, Alabama was stuffed by a Clemson defense that was not at all fooled by a shovel pass attempt near the end zone. A Tagovailoa shovel pass to Damian Harris was covered well for a loss of 4 yards, forcing Nick Saban to accept a field goal that gave Alabama a 16-14 lead at the time. Clemson responded with an impressive touchdown drive as the Tigers have shown an ability to move on Alabama like few teams have been capable of doing this season. Follow at Kevin Onk FB. After taking the field in full uniform for the ceremonial coin flip as a team captain, Alabama linebacker Christian Miller has not taken the field early on against the Clemson Tigers in the national championship game in Santa Clara. Miller was reportedly listed as a starter for the Crimson Tide on the lineup card for the game, but a hamstring injury has led to his absence early on in the game. We'll see if Miller gets onto the field as the game progresses. Of course, this being Alabama, the Crimson Tide had a five-star player able to fill in, with Dylan Moses getting snaps in his place. Clemson's offense went 3 and out on the game's opening possession, but Travis Etienne capped Clemson's second possession with a touchdown run to give the Tigers a 14-7 lead early in the first quarter. Follow at Kevin Onk FB. After the Clemson offense opened up the college football playoff national championship by going 3 and out, the Tigers opened the scoring with a defensive touchdown instead. A.J. Terrell jumped in front of a receiver to take a pass thrown by Alabama's Tua Tagovailoa and returning it 44 yards for an early touchdown in Santa Clara. The score gave Clemson a 7-0 lead. It was the first time Clemson has scored first against Alabama in the college football playoff. Tagovailoa immediately took the blame for misreading the field and missing Terrell in that spot of the field. The good news for Alabama is it did not take long for Tagovailoa to make up for his mistake. Shortly after getting the ball back, Tagovailoa dropped back and unloaded on a deep pass to Biletnikoff Award winner Jerry Jeudy for a 62-yard touchdown to even the game in the blink of an eye. We have only played 3 minutes so far, so get settled in. We could be in for a fun night in Levi's Stadium. Follow at Kevin Onk FB.